Hello everybody, welcome back to Grounded Conversations. For those who are new here, I'm Liv. So this episode, I know we're like halfway through February, but I wanted to take the start of the year, sort of like set intentions for the year and make vision boards and stuff like that. And if anybody is a bit like me and this year is already going crazily quick, I haven't actually had a chance to make my vision. No, that's a lie. I've got a vision board, like a small one on my phone, but I haven't been able to make the one that like is landscape that goes on my wall. And I also have as my computer screen. So I thought we could do it together because I feel like even though we're only in February, so much has already happened this year and it's gone by so quickly, and it can kind of feel like the year's not necessarily going as you had originally planned, especially before New Year's when everybody's like setting their intentions and stuff. But I thought, as it was Chinese New Year a couple of days ago, this is kind of the perfect time to set new intentions or go over and refresh ourselves on what our intentions of the year are and sort of go over it, because this year hasn't been horrible so far, but it's definitely had its moments. So I thought together as a collective we can set our intentions for the year and we can make our vision board together as well, or at least like I'll give you guys steps of how I'm going to make my vision board soonly after this podcast, hopefully, fingers crossed. So I think at the start of the year, I know for me, I set so many things, and like I think I made like a bingo board again, which is really cute, of the things that I want to do this year. And as much as they are adorable, and I do really love them, and obviously still want to achieve a lot of them, I think I realised that I just, especially with uni, I don't have the time to do as much as I thought I did, because at the start of the year I was like, right, I want to. These are my goals for my podcast. Obviously have uni work as well. Oh, and I'll make a film. And I'll learn how to play guitar, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. And I did sit and I like literally organised my year to be like, okay, these are the months that I can focus on this goal, these are the months I can focus on that goal, which is a good idea. And I do recommend splitting up like your year and being like, this is like the time I can focus on that specific thing or complete that specific thing. But I just think I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit and need to give myself a bit of a step back and realise, actually, let's just calm down a second, set about 3 main goals and intentions for the year and focus on them and like run towards them. I mean, it is literally the year of the horse. So if it's the year to literally run towards our goals, it's this one. But I think having too many goals, at least for me, can be quite overwhelming and can make me feel burnt out, because I'm, instead of putting my focus onto specific things, I'm instead getting overwhelmed and then burnt out easily, which isn't good. So I think as much as it is good to aim high and to have big goals and to have big dreams and to want to complete loads of things, I know for me, I sort of have to narrow it down and focus on the very, very specific things that I want to do, instead of like, I want to do everything. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I think as well, when you haven't necessarily got that far in the goals that you want to complete for the year as of yet, and you haven't really took a leap or a step towards them in a way that you originally intended to at the start of the year, because I mean, let's be honest, life is just like, life can just get the best of us sometimes, and it can make time just go by so much more quicker than we think it is. And it can make us actually realise, I wanted to like go to the gym, but because of like all this other stuff going on, I just genuinely haven't had the time to. And it can feel like everything kind of gets ahead of ourselves before we can actually like catch up with what's going on and actually enjoy what we're doing and things like that. I wanted to remind you, you're not behind. We're literally in the 2nd month of the year. We've got 10 more to go. That's actually sad how long I had to think about that. We've got 10 more months of the year to go. You're not behind, and it's completely fine to start goals at any time during the year. Even if you end up starting them in December or November, like, props to you. I think we have to, let's give ourselves a bit of grace for what we haven't completed yet of the year, and celebrate what you have completed. But I think it's easy to look at the things you haven't done rather than look at the things that you have done. So yeah, before we start, let's just have a think of the things we have actually completed this year and the things we've already realised about ourselves and the people around us and things like that, and celebrate that, because it honestly deserves to be at least recognised. So just think about that for a second. I mean, you're not behind. You're probably more ahead than you think. And I mean, you're on your own journey. Like, whether you started that goal like 2 months ago at the start of the year, whether you're starting now, like, at least you're starting. Like, go you, come on. But I think for me, I do like setting goals because, especially when they're intentional, it can help me like work towards something to achieve them. I just think I need to rethink how I'm achieving these goals and things like that. So I thought, let's start with the setting of our intentions and making a vision board. So I tried to split it up into steps because I genuinely, the amount of vision boards I make in a year is actually insane. They're like genuinely like, I love to do it. So I'm probably like, the amount I've made is actually probably insane, but it's fine because I kind of know what I'm doing. I don't know if this actually works, but I think this would work for me because I kind of do a different thing every time I make a vision board. So I try to put all the different like methods I use into one to help. So if you can, if you're willing and able, grab a notepad and a pen, or just open your notes app on your phone, or any way that you can like log this down, do that. I want to start, write down 2 or 3 feelings that you want to like feel this year. It's probably going to be like, I want to feel happy, excited, I want to feel like I'm in love, things like that. Only for feelings, only write down like 2 to 3 main feelings that you want to feel. And then after that, you can do all this in different coloured pens. I don't know. Or do it in different lists. Do whatever works for you guys, be so honest. And then write down 3, I'm going to say 3. Write down about 3 goals for the year, like your main goals of the 3 main things you want to achieve. And if you're not sure, take yourself into the future to the end of 2026 and think, how would I feel at the end of the year if I didn't complete this thing? Or how would I feel if I did complete this thing? And just, what would you feel like if you got to the end of the year and you didn't do anything towards that goal? How would you feel at the end of the year? Would you feel like disappointed in yourself that you didn't complete it? Would you not care? And the ones that you have like the strongest feelings towards, they're your 3 goals. Try to get them from different aspects of your life as well. Don't have them all like work centered or academically centered or personal centered. I try to like take mine from like 3 different aspects of my life. So for example, like my hobbies, my like personal like mental, physical health, and then like let's just say work or something. So career, self-care, I guess, and then my personal hobbies and well, for me, let's be real, it is this podcast. So anyways, but yeah, try to set 3 goals from different aspects of life. Write down 3 goals, and then this is where we're going to start. From these feelings and goals, let's start with feelings. Write off the feelings, the things that you already do that make you feel that feeling. So for example, if it's like, I want to feel at peace this year or calm, for me it would be like, actually, when I'm doing something like creative or just like artistic, such as writing songs or even just colouring in or just like bedazzling random stuff and just things like that, it actually puts me so much more in a calm mindset, and meditating helps that as well. So like write down, yeah, as an example, or if you feel happy, like for me it would be like hanging out with my friends. Think about what makes you feel those feelings and just write them down, as many or as little as you want, in a list. And then after that, go to your 3 goals. Then off the 3 goals, whether you're mind mapping, listing them, whatever works for you, we're going to write down the things that you think you have to do to achieve them. So for example, if you wanted to be a famous YouTuber by the end of the year, you're going to have to, you never would have guessed, post on YouTube and probably edit your videos. Crazy. Or if it's like, I want to be more active, or I want to go to the gym or something like that. It could be like let's, for example, one of my goals is being more active, so it's like going on more walks, going to the gym. They're the things I need to do in order to achieve that goal. But split them up and be as specific as you can, and be as very specific as you can with achieving it, with what you need to do for these goals. And even your feelings, be very specific of what makes you feel those feelings, what you can do to achieve those goals, everything like that. And then once you've written all that lovely stuff down, as little or as much as you want, we'll go into reflection boards. I always use Pinterest to find the things I need to do. So this is what I do. My lovely, it's probably a bit excessive, but do what you want. On Pinterest, I make a board and split the board into sections. So in this case, it would be split it into like, you know how on Pinterest, if you make a board, you can have different sections. So have a section for each of the feelings, and then have a section for each of the goals. And then you're going to time up on Pinterest the things that you put underneath the goals, like the goals and feelings. So for example, as I was saying before, if my feeling was to feel calm this year and writing songs makes me feel calm, I'm going to search on Pinterest songwriting or like songwriting aesthetic and things like that. And I'm going to add that to that section of the board, and so on, so on, so on. And like if the goal is, let's say, making like getting like famous on YouTube, you're going to search on Pinterest editing YouTube videos or filming YouTube videos, and you're going to have the steps of how to achieve them. Because I find when my vision boards work best for me and I find myself actually achieving them, it's because I've actually sat and thought about the things that I need to do in order to achieve that goal and put that on my vision board. Because then when I'm looking at the vision board, I'm not just picturing this sort of unachievable goal that seems miles and miles ahead of me. I'm picturing the steps I need to do to get there as well, which are more accessible in my day-to-day life rather than the end result. Yeah, cool. So do that. Many as little as you want, because I mean, how crowded you want your vision board is up to you. But I find I try not to make mine that crowded, because otherwise it can be very overwhelming to look at. So that's why I like that, to be fair, because it's only like 2 to 3 feelings, 3 goals, whatever. But like add as much as you want to these Pinterest boards, and then add another section for like other / like material things, I guess. This is gonna sound really bad. Anyways, have another section like other things that you want this year, whether it is like you want a relationship or you want a new car, a new house, you want to like move countries. Just put that as like a separate section in itself, because I do think, at least for me, I like when my vision boards have a focus on like the things that I want to achieve as well, rather than the things I want to get, because I feel like I get more satisfaction over like achieving things myself rather than just like having, I don't know, at least when I'm like envisioning things of like what I want to achieve, I find it easier. And yeah, I just prefer to see things that I can actually go out and do rather than the things that I'm going to receive. But obviously I do like to have the things that I want in there as well, because why not? But yeah, put as like other things like as a separate board and add whatever you want to all these sections. And then for me, either open like PowerPoint or Canva or something like that. I open up Canva, and I then go back onto Pinterest, go in each section one by one, and I usually go through and look at all the different photos, and as I look at them, I sort of like, this is a bit excessive. I sort of close my eyes or like picture myself how I feel while doing that thing, and the ones that I feel the strongest to of Pinterest, like the pins that I feel the most like drawn to and the most like that feels like that's what I need this year, are the ones that I put on my vision board, because I already feel like sort of connected to them. So then when I look at them, I sort of can close my eyes and meditate on them and envision the same feelings to help me sort of manifest the things that I want. Cool. So once you've done that, I'm going to copy and paste all the lovely photos, the ones that you feel the most drawn to your amazing, currently blank page on whatever you're making this vision board. And then some people like to add quotes. I personally, I just like, I add 222 because it's like my very specific angel number. And then I sometimes add a quote in the middle, like everything happens for a reason, or like stuff like that, because I have like a little heart chalkboard on my, I can actually show you guys, on my like desk board thingy. I can't remember what it's called. It's not quite a pin board. It's sort of just wall with holes in it. Anyways, I have like this on my lovely board, and I add them because I always write quotes on there that I change based on like what I think I need to hear at that point in time. So my one at the moment says progress, not perfection, because I think it's more important to be making progress and to be moving forward in life and to be taking steps forward than it being perfect. So like, I saw something online that was like this, like there was a class of ceramics or pottery students, and one half of the class got told, in the next few weeks you're going to make as many as you possibly can of these pots, and the other half of the class got told, you're just going to make one pot, it has to be perfect. The people that made the most actually had better quality pots, because they were making so many, they naturally got better over time and progressed over time just because of the quantity they were making. So I think that's also like, I don't know, just like think about that for a sec. And then yeah, make your vision board. I always like pull it somewhere I can always see it every day. So that's why I have one on my phone screen. I think I want to change it. And then I always put one on my board so I can literally see it in the morning. And then sometimes on my laptop as well. But yeah, put it in as many places so you can see it all the time so that you always see it. Yeah, I feel like the more that you see something, the more like you sort of then end up seeing it in real life. At least that's for me, that ends up happening for my vision boards. But I find, because obviously it is the kind of like a manifestation technique. But I think if you like are looking at the why am I looking? There's nothing there. Anyways, God, if you're just seeing it every day and you sit and meditate on it and you sit and actually envision yourself like as if you are in the places that you put on your vision board, that you do have those things in your real life, that they do end up turning up. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, vision boards that I made when I was literally like years ago have started coming true, even though some of the pictures aren't on my current vision board. Like, it's actually crazy. But I think once you've made your vision board, you're going to go back to the goals that we set a moment ago, and we're going to split them up into more achievable steps. And I think for me, I like to split it up and then make them achievable things that I can then every month, every now and then, kind of go back and check in with myself and check in with my goals and see how far I progressed into doing them. So with your like 3 main goals, I know there's like, you've probably heard of like SMART goals, where it's split into like a specific goal that's measurable, achievable, relevant, and time specific. So yes, try to split your goals up that way. I'm not an expert in splitting goals up. It's still something I need to like sort of work on. But split them up. So whether it's like, for example, going to the gym, you could say like, right, I want to go to the gym more this year. If you say to yourself from the get-go, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, when you haven't been going every day, that's probably not going to be that achievable. But if you say to yourself, for month 1, I'm going to aim to go to the gym once a week. The next month, I'm going to go twice a week. The next month, 3 times a week. The next month, 4 times a week. Things like that. If you split it up like that, where you know like it's specific, you can measure how many times you're doing it. It's relevant to the goal, very achievable, and time specific because you're splitting up monthly, then you can very easily achieve that goal. And within a few months, you will be going every day. But doing that from the get-go is very hard. Whereas if you say to yourself, I'm going to go once a week for the first month and split it up that way, you're more likely to achieve it, and it makes it easier to achieve it, and things like that. And I mean, just see these goals as a journey. Like, that's why like I have like progress, not perfection up, because you're not going to be perfect. You're going to have highs and lows. Like, it's a journey. You kind of have to take yourself on and learn more about yourself and run towards your goals with everything you can to achieve them, and fully believe in yourself and be your biggest fan, because nobody else is going to show up for you the way that you can show up for yourself. So honestly, be your biggest fan and be your number 1 supporter. But yeah, and just split them up into measurable things. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're gonna have like a time when like you don't end up doing the thing you wanted to do. But I mean, you can even like write down in a diary like how often you are doing these things, and try think of habits that you can do to achieve your goals as well. So like, for example, if you have a goal that you want to be more of a reader and you want to read 20 books in a year, it's very unlikely that you're just going to sit there and read 20 books straight. Whereas if you say to yourself, I'm going to set a habit of reading a chapter every night before I go to bed, because you're setting up a habit that aligns with your goals, you're more likely to achieve it because it's just more actionable and more achievable. So I think you guys know where I'm going with this. But yeah, try to split your goals up that way, of how you can achieve them and how they're at like, and how like what habits can help you achieve them. I mean, even if you Google it or go on TikTok, like, or just like search somewhere like habits I can do to achieve XYZ, you'll get some answers somewhere. But make it easier for you to do, and just think about the 3 main things that you want to achieve and split them up and things like that, because that's how I always try my best to achieve them. And then, because I think as well, making vision boards is great, but if you're not doing anything to achieve the things on them, you're not going to get anywhere. Whereas if you set the actions alongside them to set up these goals, you'll get a lot further than you would have without. So just think about that. I mean, I think I've said all I need to say in terms of setting your intentions for the year and how to achieve them, making vision boards and things like that. So I feel like it is very personal to you and what you want to achieve and everything like that. And I will be making my vision board very soon, so I'll try and like at least put it on the podcast Instagram by the time the next episode is out, which will be on 5th of March. But I mean, for me, like, as I was saying, I did make like a bingo board at the start of the year that had so many different goals on. And so far at the I have like started to work towards a couple of them, but so far at the moment, like one of my like is like on the other section of the Pinterest board would be to get a tattoo or a second piercing, and I didn't think I would be doing that until like the second half of this year, but I've actually got it booked in for 6th of March, so I haven't really told anybody. So you guys are like some of the first few people to actually find out, so that's fun, I guess. But yeah, just think of it like things like that. If anybody has any questions, or if you're making your vision board and you are a bit stuck, or like I didn't explain it, or if like something I explained or said wasn't that clear, feel free to comment or message me on Instagram or wherever, and I will literally get back to you as soon as I can, because I would love to, like, honestly, vision boarding, I don't know why, it's generally like one of my favourite things ever. Like, I'm low-key obsessed. But yeah, feel free to reach out if you do have any questions or any help, or if you just want to show me your vision boards. Like, genuinely, I actually love it. If you want help setting goals to achieve them or anything, like, honestly, if you don't feel like your biggest fan, message me and I'll be your biggest fan. Like, honestly, promise, I will honestly have your back, guys. So yeah, message me if you guys need any help with, or need any more said on what I've just said to you. I will see you guys in a couple weeks' time. I hope you all have fun making these vision boards, and I hope this has helped. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.